Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Annette and I'm going to show you a simple card today. I wanted to break out this paper that I have. This is from Simon Says Stamp and it's actually their holiday cardstock assortment, but the type of paper is called Color Blend, and I want to show you. I did not use these over the holidays, but you can use them anytime. It's just, they're common holiday colors. But what is so cool about these is they kind of have a shiny, glossy finish, but they're color blended. They're already color blended for you. So instead of taking a white piece of cardstock and blending your own color, these are all ready to go. And I want to show you how you can make a quick and easy card using these. I already pulled out one of the colors and die cut it out. So I'm using this powder blue, and it kind of has a gradient from powder blue and it goes even lighter. And I used this and I cut it out using Gina K Design's Master Layouts 4, which her master layouts are a series of high quality cutting dies, and they're really nice quality. They're made of steel, I believe, and you get quite a bit in each pack, and she has many different versions, so you can check her out on GinaKDesigns.com and just search Master Layouts. You certainly don't need these. You can cut your own panels out to whatever size you want, but some of them are kind of fancy and nice. I really like this one in particular that has like a scallop edge with some stitch edging, and that's what I did. And this is the die, so I already cut that out, and here it is. So that's step one, and now we're going to dry emboss, or we're going to use a 3D embossing folder to put a design on here. So let me bring in my Sizzix Big Shot, make some room here. I'm going to pan out for just a minute so you can see what I'm doing. So here I have a 3D textured impressions embossing folder, and this is from, I think it's just Sizzix brand. And it says Kath Breen on here. I don't know, but I like dandelions. I know they're a weed, and I certainly have plenty of them in my yard in the spring. They're kind of the first things that appear in my yard, but I don't know. I like them, especially when they go to seed. I'm sure my neighbors really don't want to hear me say that, but I do try to keep my yard nice, but I do like a dandelion. I just do. So I found this embossing folder, and I'm going to use that today to emboss onto this panel. All right, so you will need an embossing machine, and whichever machine you have, just follow the instructions on your machine for 3D textured impressions. Mine tells you what sandwich to use, which it's saying just to use this base platform, the embossing folder, and the top plate. But I feel that doesn't give me enough pressure, so I add a couple pieces of folded paper, and I have a metal shim. And you just have to play around. You definitely don't want to force your 3D folder through the machine. I've done it before, and it'll split it. It'll just crack in two. So just, go gentle. Maybe practice on a scrap piece of paper first till you'll know that the tension is just right when you're rolling it through. Okay, and the other tip I have is when you're using 3D embossing folders, they put a deep impression into the cardstock, and it can sometimes crack the cardstock. But if you spray a little water, or I like to use rubbing alcohol because that evaporates quickly. If you just do a very light spritz, it helps loosen the fibers of the paper, and you'll get less cracking. So those are my tips. And then on the embossing folder, you will have an embossed side, which is the raised side that'll come up through the paper, and a debossed side. So depending on which way you run your folder through, you're going to get that look. So I want my impression to be raised. So I don't want it to be raised on this side. I want it to be raised on the colored side. So I just want to make sure, you just want to feel and make sure your raised impression is coming up underneath the paper or the cardstock. In this case, they color or they darken the side that goes up, so that makes it easier. Okay, so I'm just gonna go off to the side here and spray a little bit of rubbing alcohol on the back of my cardstock. Just a real light spray, you really can't even see it. And then I'm just gonna position this in my folder and try to get it as straight as you can if you need to tilt it up to see. And that's it. And then I also find it goes through the roller a little bit harder if you're going straight in. So if you put it at a little bit of an angle so the tip goes through the rollers first, that seems to help. Okay, so let's go through here and see what we get. And you just want a nice firm pressure as you're rolling it. You don't, again, you do not want to force it. That will not be good. And then we will see what it looks like. Just gently remove it just in case it is sticking. And mine did crack, in a couple places you can see, but that's okay. We'll just work with it very gently, but let me zoom in. There you can see the impression of the dandelions. Isn't that cool? I really, really like that. All right, so the next thing, I've already got my, I already have my card base prepared, and this is just a piece of 110-pound weight cardstock that I found in my stash. I just found a color that kind of complemented this. I know it's kind of matchy-matchy down here, but there's a little bit of a contrast up here. And then I used a stamp set from Simon Hurley, and this is well loved. I use this quite a bit, and it's called Birthday Basics, but it's got really a lot of big stamps. I mean, this is a big stamp here, and you can see the comparison from the card panel. But there's some birthday presents and some sentiments, but I used the sentiment that says Big Wish, and I used the sentiment Big Wish and heat embossed it on a piece of blue cardstock, and I used, let's see, I stamped it with Gina K Designs Premium Pigment ink in white, and then I heat embossed it using Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail White Embossing Powder. So you stamp it with the pigment ink, sprinkle the powder, shake off the excess, and then you heat emboss it with your heat tool. And then what I did to get the layered look is I used these Hero Arts Infinity dies, and I just picked two sizes next to each other, and I die cut the sentiment, and then I used the next size up to die cut just a black piece of cardstock, glued those together, and added some foam squares, because I will pop that up onto the card. All right, so all we have to do now is just glue this panel to the card base. So we'll just put a lot of glue here on the back, and I want to be very careful around these edges that did tear. So most of the time they're salvageable. Just, you know, just go slow and steady with it, be gentle, and then I will just drop that down. Okay, and then you just want to take the backers off of the foam tape or foam squares. You could glue it directly on your panel, that's fine too, but I like to pop it up a little bit. And I am going to add a little bit of glue to each of these. I'm using Gina K Connect Glue. It gives me just a little bit of wiggle room. And I think I'm just going to put this, I'm going to kind of offset it over here. I'll keep it on the panel, but I just want to put it right inside that stitched line. And it's really, it's kind of a monochromatic card. It's just blue on blue on blue, and I kind of like that. A little bit of black contrast there. So there you have it. That is my card project for today. This was a quick, short video. If you're still watching this video, I want to thank you, and I hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can join me every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time for another episode of Let's Make a Card. Until then, have a great week.